Yes, if it's an end. And there we are not quite certain about this end. Because, you know, there are these peculiar faculties of the psyche that it isn't entirely confined to space and time. You can have dreams or visions of the future. You can see round corners and such things.
These words by Carl Jung invite us on a journey into the depths of the mind. A journey as fascinating as it is unsettling. But what led this Swiss psychiatrist to challenge his mentor, Sigmund Freud, and venture into controversial territories such as dreams, archetypes, and the collective unconscious? Could it be that his own personal crises were the key to unraveling the secrets of the human mind? Or even more intriguing, what if his theory of the unconscious is the ultimate proof that our minds are connected in ways we can't even imagine? Today, we'll explore Jung's path from an obscure physician to a misunderstood visionary whose legacy continues to shape our understanding of the psyche. Carl Gustav Jung. A brilliant psychiatrist, an explorer of the human soul, and, basically, the guy who made Freud uncomfortable. Imagine this: Vienna, early 20th century. Freud and Jung are sitting in a cafe, debating the unconscious. Freud, puffing on his cigar, insists that everything revolves around sexual instincts. Jung, stroking his elegant beard, responds, "Yes, Sigmund, but what if the unconscious is much more than just repressed desires?" For God's sake, Carl, what else could it be? A mysterious warehouse of symbols, myths, and experiences shared by all of humanity. Exactly. Sighs. I'm going to need a stronger cigar. In this video, we're going to uncover how Jung developed his psychodynamic method and his famous theory of the unconscious. But more importantly, we'll explore the unanswered questions that still haunt his work. Could we truly share a collective mind? Do our dreams contain deeper messages than we think? And the most crucial question of all, did Freud and Jung ever go to therapy together? Jung started as an ardent follower of Freud. Both were obsessed with the unconscious, but while Freud saw it as a vault of forbidden desires, Jung saw it as a vast ocean of symbols, myths, and ancestral archetypes. This difference in perspective was enough to break their friendship. Well, that, and the fact that Freud had a slight obsession with the idea that absolutely everything had a sexual root. So Jung set out on his own path and founded analytical psychology. His great discovery, the unconscious, is not just personal, but also collective. That is, we all share common mental structures, archetypes. And this is where things get interesting. Jung proposed that, in addition to our individual thoughts and experiences, we all inherit a deeper level of the psyche, a collective unconscious filled with universal symbols and patterns. Have you ever wondered why so many cultures have similar figures of heroes, wise mentors, or dark shadows? Exactly. According to Jung, we all carry the same myths, the same stories, even if we've never heard them before. Think about it. Luke Skywalker and Harry Potter follow the same hero journey. Darth Vader, the Joker, or even your boss represent the shadow, the dark side we all carry within. Yoda and Mr. Miyagi perfectly embody the wise old man. The trickster is everywhere, from the genie in Aladdin to Chandler in Friends. Even in everyday life, these archetypes are all around us. You probably have a friend who sees themselves as the hero of their story and believes they are the protagonist of their own movie. Or you know someone who acts as the trickster, always breaking the tension with a joke. Jung would say, it's not a coincidence, it's the collective unconscious manifesting. Jung's ultimate goal in psychology was what he called individuation, the process of integrating all aspects of the psyche into a complete and unified self. The self, is the center of our unconscious and conscious mind, the totality of who we are. Individuation is not about becoming perfect, it's about becoming whole. This means confronting and embracing both the light and the darkness within us. Many people spend their lives avoiding their shadow aspects, afraid of what they might find. But Jung believed that true psychological growth required facing these hidden parts and understanding them rather than repressing them. In mythology and religion, the journey toward individuation often mirrors the hero's quest. Figures like Jesus, Buddha, and even modern messianic figures in literature represent this path to self-realization. They endure trials, encounter their own limitations, and ultimately achieve enlightenment, embodying the self in its fullest form. One of the greatest struggles of individuation is overcoming societal conditioning. We are often pressured to conform to external expectations, which can stifle personal growth. Jung emphasized that individuation requires breaking free from these imposed identities and forging one's own path, no matter how unconventional it may seem. Jung's writings suggest that the individuation process is never truly complete. It is a lifelong journey, one that requires constant self-reflection and adaptation. Each stage of life presents new challenges and opportunities for growth, pushing individuals closer to their true essence. Ultimately, the self is not just a psychological concept, it is a deeply spiritual one. Whether viewed through the lens of psychology or religion, the journey of self-discovery is about finding meaning, purpose, and a sense of wholeness in an ever-changing world. Another key Jungian concept is the persona, the mask we wear to interact with society. It's our social identity, the version of ourselves we present to the world. However, when people become too attached to their persona, they lose touch with their true self. Many people develop multiple personas, adapting them to different social settings. There is the professional persona, the family persona, the social media persona, each slightly different, each tailored to meet expectations. But when we rely too much on these masks, we risk losing sight of who we really are underneath them. The danger of the persona is that it can become a crutch, a way to avoid confronting our true selves. People who identify too strongly with their persona may feel empty or disconnected when they are alone. They may begin to wonder, who am I when no one is watching? In modern society, social media amplifies this issue. Many people curate a version of themselves online that doesn't reflect their inner reality. They present the best parts of their lives, carefully crafting an image that aligns with societal expectations. But this digital persona can become a prison, making it even harder to embrace the authentic self. Jung believed that shedding the persona was a crucial step in the individuation process. This does not mean rejecting social roles entirely, but rather learning to wear them lightly, acknowledging them without becoming trapped by them. To be truly free, one must balance the need for social identity with the deeper call to authenticity. The most powerful stories often feature characters who break free from their personas. Think of Walter White in Breaking Bad, who sheds his mild-mannered chemistry teacher mask to reveal his true nature. Or Neo in The Matrix, who abandons his false identity to embrace his destiny. These stories resonate because they reflect the universal struggle between the roles we play and the people we truly are. In the end, the persona is not inherently bad. It is a necessary tool for navigating the world. But true fulfillment comes from recognizing when to wear the mask and when to take it off. Jung often emphasized that dreams are not mere random thoughts or forgotten fragments of our daily lives. Instead, they are profound messages from the unconscious, attempting to communicate with us in symbols and metaphors. Unlike Freud, who saw dreams primarily as expressions of repressed desires, Jung believed they were a window into the deeper layers of the psyche, an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. Many of Jung's most famous ideas were influenced by his own dreams. He meticulously recorded them, interpreting them as reflections of his inner world. One of his most striking dreams involved a vast, ancient structure with multiple floors, each representing different layers of human consciousness. The upper floors were modern and well lit, symbolizing the conscious mind. As he descended, the architecture became medieval, then prehistoric, until he reached a hidden cave with bones and primitive artifacts, his metaphor for the collective unconscious, where humanity's deepest, most ancient memories reside. Jung argued that dream symbols are universal, arising from the archetypes embedded in our unconscious. The hero, the wise old man, the shadow. These figures appear again and again in mythology, literature, and of course in our dreams. Have you ever dreamed of being chased? Of falling into an abyss? Of discovering a hidden room in a familiar house? These are not just coincidences. They are archetypal experiences that connect us to something much larger than ourselves. To better understand the unconscious, Jung developed a method called active imagination, a technique that allows individuals to engage with their inner world in a conscious way. Unlike traditional dream analysis, active imagination involves entering a meditative state and allowing unconscious images to surface while interacting with them as if they were real. This practice, which Jung himself used extensively, often led to extraordinary visions. He claimed to have met and spoken with figures from his unconscious, such as Philemon, an old man with the wings of a kingfisher. Jung did not dismiss these experiences as mere fantasies. Instead, he considered them encounters with the deeper parts of himself, the self trying to reveal its wisdom. Today, many forms of therapy, visualization exercises, and even artistic expression draw inspiration from active imagination. By exploring these images and narratives, individuals can uncover hidden aspects of their psyche and integrate them into their waking consciousness. This method highlights Jung's belief that the unconscious is not just a vault of hidden thoughts, but an active, living force that seeks dialogue. As Jung grew older, his work took an even more introspective and philosophical turn. He spent much of his later years writing, reflecting, and expanding his ideas about the unconscious, mythology, and spirituality. His most personal and ambitious work, The Red Book, was a product of decades of self-exploration. In it, he documented his most vivid visions, dialogues with the unconscious, and encounters with powerful symbolic figures. For many years, this book remained unpublished, seen as too mystical, too strange, yet it offers perhaps the clearest insight into Jung's mind. During his later years, Jung continued to refine his ideas on the self and individuation. He was fascinated by the idea that human consciousness evolves over a lifetime, and that the later stages of life hold unique challenges. Rather than seeing aging as a decline, he viewed it as an opportunity for deep psychological and spiritual transformation. He believed that older age was the time when the self could truly emerge, beyond the constraints of social roles and external expectations. One of his final insights was the realization that individuation is not just a personal journey. It is a collective necessity. The modern world, increasingly dominated by materialism and disconnection from the unconscious, risked losing its soul. Jung warned that ignoring the unconscious leads to stagnation, both individually and as a society. He urged people to reconnect with their myths, to seek meaning beyond the rational, and to integrate their deeper selves into everyday life. Jung passed away in 1961, but his ideas continue to influence psychology, literature, art, and even modern neuroscience. His work on dreams, archetypes, and the unconscious remains as relevant today as it was during his lifetime. His legacy is not just in his writings or theories, but in the countless individuals who, through introspection and self-exploration, seek to unlock the mysteries of their own unconscious minds.